This video is about she was his mate, but her bloodline made her untouchable. If this story captivates you, please like the video, share it with loved ones, and write in the comments how it touched your heart. The moon hung low in the velvet sky, casting a silvery glow over the dense pine forest. Its light danced through the leaves, illuminating the rugged terrain of Silverwood Pack territory. A howl pierced the silence, echoing through the night, a call that made every wolf within earshot respond. But tonight, the howls were mixed with a tension that crackled in the air. Alara stood at the edge of the clearing, her heart thundering in her chest. She was a mere omega, a position seen as the lowest in the pack's hierarchy. Yet, something deep within her stirred a primal instinct she could not ignore. She turned her gaze towards the towering figure of Kale, the alpha of Silverwood. His presence radiated power, his dark hair tousled by the wind, eyes shimmering like pools of molten gold. Alara. Kale's voice rolled over her like a tide, commanding yet tender. Why are you lingering at the edge? You shouldn't be here alone. She felt the weight of his gaze, a mix of warmth and worry that sent shivers down her spine. I wanted to feel the moonlight, she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. It's beautiful tonight. He stepped closer, a frown creasing his brow. The woods can be dangerous. You shouldn't wander without your pack. Alara's heart ached, not just from his concern, but from the reality that her bloodline made her untouchable. A mere omega, bound to serve, yet drawn to the alpha she could never have. I am not afraid, she replied, forcing a smile. I've always been a part of these woods. Gale knelt before her, his expression softening into something vulnerable, yet so forbidden. Alara, you are the heart of this pack, but your lineage. He hesitated, his eyes searching hers. We both know the rules. Rules are meant to be broken, she breathed, the words tumbling from her lips like a challenge. They hung between them, electric and brimming with unspoken desire. He reached out, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear, his touch lingering. But not by us, our worlds are too different. The air thickened with unacknowledged longing, and Alara felt the pull of destiny tighten around her like a noose. Why does it have to be like this, Kale? She asked, her voice trembling with emotion. Why can't we just be together? His expression darkened, the weight of their reality crushing down. You know why, you bloodline. He clenched his jaw, straining against the very connection that drew them together. It makes you untouchable. But it doesn't change what you feel, she urged, stepping closer, her heart racing. The scent of pine mingled with the musk of his wolf, intoxicating and maddening. It doesn't change what I feel. Kale took a deep breath, his eye flickering with internal conflict. Alara, you must listen. The council watches closely. If they discover it. I don't care what they think, she interrupted, her voice rising with desperation. I've lived my entire life in their shadows. I just want a chance at happiness, even if it is forbidden. He flinched as if her words struck him directly. And what if happiness destroys us both? What if I can't protect you? The vulnerability in his voice tore at her heart. Alara stepped back, the weight of his words sinking in. You think I am weak, that I can handle what we are? You don't understand. She turned away, tears brimming in her eyes. I want to be strong for us. Kale reached for her, but she flinched from his touch, as if his very presence burned. Don't. The word escaped her lips like an incantation, strong and defiant. You can just come here and give me hope, only to take it away. Alara. He hesitated, his voice softening. I never wanted to hurt you. You mean more to me than I can say. Then why can't you fight for us? She pleaded, her voice cracking. The weight of their fate pressed upon her chest, suffocating and relentless. There are forces at play I cannot control. The council would never allow it. They see it as a betrayal. He stepped back, the space between them feeling wider than the forest itself. It's not just my choice. Sometimes we must fight for the things we love, she whispered, her heart aching at the truth of it. Even if it means standing against the world. Kale's gaze hardened, steely resolve creeping into his features. And what if it means losing everything, losing you? She looked at him, her heart breaking with every passing moment. You are already losing me by not fighting, by choosing the pack over me. He took a step forward, desperation clawing at him. Alara, please, don't push me. I don't want to hate myself for what I feel. Tears slipped down her cheeks, and she turned away, too afraid to face the truth of her heart. I wish I could be someone else, someone worthy of you. The words hung in the air like an incantation, heavy with longing. As the moon rose higher, the air grew colder, and the pull of the pack's call resonated within them. We cannot be together, Kale finally said, the defeat in his voice echoing through the trees. You know it as well as I do. Then what am I supposed to do? She cried, her voice breaking. Live a life of servitude, longing free from the shadows. Kale's face twisted with anguish. Don't you make this harder than it has to be. We both deserve happiness, even if it means apart. Eller felt her chest tighten, the weight of his words crushing. But is that really happiness? She whispered. Or just survival? He stepped back, his wolf instincts pulling him away. You must be strong, Allura. Embrace your role within the pack. Do what is right for all of us. And with that, he turned, a silent sentinel slipping into the night. Allura stood alone, the moonlight shimmering around her, feeling the ache of love unfulfilled. Memories of their laughter, their stolen moments flashed before her eyes. Each memory felt like a blade, carving deeper into her heart. The forest, once a sanctuary, now felt like a prison encasing her in solitude. You are my destiny, she whispered to the night. But why does it feel so unattainable? Tears cascaded down her cheeks as she sank to the ground, the weight of her unrequited love pressing against her soul. She had to find a way to break free from these shackles, the chains of bloodlines and pack loyalty. Little did she know that fate had woven a more intricate tapestry than she could imagine. And within its threads lay the promise of her betrayal, and a love so fierce it could alter the very fabric of their world. The moon watched over her, silent and resolute, a witness to the heartache about to unfold. And far away, as Kale raced back to his pack, uncertainty gnawed at him. The choice was made, yet the consequences loomed like dark clouds on the horizon, ready to engulf them all. Allura would not give up. The story had only just begun, one of yearning, heartbreak, and a love that defied the very laws of their existence. The moon loomed large, a sentinel in the night sky, its light spilling like liquid silver over the tranquil woods. Yet within the forest of silverwood, peace was merely an illusion. Allura could feel the tremors of change vibrating through the very ground beneath her, an impending storm gathering strength. The hours passed since Kale had stepped away, leaving her in the haunting silence of the clearing. Each second felt like a heartbeat lost in the cacophony of her emotions. What am I going to do? She whispered to the wind, her voice trembling. The woods had always offered sanctuary, but tonight they felt like an echo chamber of her despair. Suddenly, the rustle of the leaves broke her reverie. A figure emerged from the shadows. Ira, her closest friend and fellow Omega, approached with a worried expression. Allura, I felt your pain from the moment I entered the woods. What happened? Allura looked into Ira's deep blue eyes, searching for solace. Kale, he came to me, but he says it is impossible for us to be together, my bloodline. The words tumbled from her lips, laden with the weight of sorrow. Ira's expression hardened. You can't let that stop you. Love isn't bound by blood or rank. Her voice was fierce, filled with the fire of conviction. You deserve happiness, Allura, and so does he. But the council. Allura began, but the words choked in her throat. She couldn't bear to voice the fear that gripped her heart. The council, an ancient assembly of alphas, governed the packs with iron will. Their laws were as unyielding as stone, and any defiance could spell disaster. Forget the council for a moment, Ira urged, her voice dropping to a whisper. You both feel it, the bond between you, it's something rare and powerful. Allura's heart leaped at the truth of her friend's words, but doubt crept in like a shadow. And what if that bond brings ruin? What if my desire for him destroys us both? The fear of losing him was a specter that haunted her every thought. Then fight for it, Ira exclaimed, her hands clenched into fists. You've always been strong, Allura, even as an Omega. Prove them wrong, prove to Kale that love conquers all. As Allura absorbed Ira's words, she felt a flicker of hope ignite within her. But how? If I confront the council, they'll see me as a traitor. I can bear the thought of dragging Kale down with me. Ira stepped forward, determination radiating from her. Let me help you. We can gather support, find allies. You don't have to face this alone. Allura's heart swelled with gratitude, yet uncertainty lingered. What if we fail? What if they reject us? Then we'll make them listen, Ira vowed, her eyes unwavering. Love is worth fighting for, and you must believe that. In that moment, Allura felt the weight of destiny pulling her forward. Perhaps it was time to confront her fears, to defy the very laws that sought to bind her. You were right, I can't let fear dictate my life any longer. With a newfound resolve, Allura stood taller, the moonlight illuminating her path. I will speak to Kale. I'll make him understand that we can break free from these chains. As she and Ira began to navigate the winding trails back to the pack's hut, Allura's mind raced with possibilities. Would Kale understand? Would he stand by her side against the council? Meanwhile, Kale paced within the walls of the Silverwood's main lodge, the air thick with tension. His alpha senses were heightened, every instinct urging him to seek Allura out. But the weight of his responsibility was a heavy burden. He could feel the council's eyes watching, the judgment looming like a storm cloud. A sudden knock at the door broke his reverie. It swung open to reveal Eric, his second-in-command and childhood friend. "You've been restless all night, Kale. What is going on?" Kale ran a hand through his hair, frustration bubbling beneath the surface. "Allura, she is not just an omega to me, she is my maid, but the council—" "Damn the council," Eric interrupted, his voice brimming with defiance. "You deserve to be happy, Kale. You both do. Why let their archaic rules dictate your heart?" Kale turned to face Eric, eyes ablaze with emotion. "It is not just about what I want, it is about the stability of the pack. If I defy the council, it could lead to a fracture." Eric stepped closer, intensity etched on his features. "And what about the fracture in your heart? Your happiness matters too, Kale. You were destined to be with her. Do you really want to live with the regret of never trying?" "Regret could cost me everything," Kale replied, his voice low, burdened with the gravity of his choices. "Or it could lead to a new era for our pack," Eric pressed. "If the love between you is strong enough, it could unite us rather than divide. You have to trust that." Kale's thoughts churned, battling the fear of the unknown with the yearning for love. "But what if I am wrong?" "Love is never wrong, Kale. It is the council, who are blind to its true power. Fight for her." The words reverberated in Kale's mind, igniting a spark of courage. "You rewrite, Eric. I'll find her. I won't let this chance slip away." Outside in the night, Allura and Iris stood at the edge of the clearing, hearts pounding with anticipation. "He'll come," Ira reassured her. "He knows what is at stake." Just as Allura was about to speak, Kale emerged from the trees, his silhouette framed by the silver light of the moon. Their gazes locked, and the world around them faded into the background. "Allura," he called, urgency lacing his tone as he sprinted toward her, breathless. Kale's presence sent a rush of warmth through her, igniting her resolve. "Kale, we need to talk. I can teep." He closed the distance between them, urgency palpable in the air. "No more talking. I want to know how you truly feel." Allura's heart raced, the weight of the moment crashing down upon her. "I feel like I am drowning in a world that won't accept our love," she confessed, the vulnerability in her voice raw and open. "But I refuse to give up." Kale's expression softened, a mixture of relief and admiration shining in his eyes. "Then let us face it together. I am tired of pretending our bond doesn't exist." "But the council," she began, but he shook his head. "Let them come. They may think they control our fates, but love knows no boundaries. We can change the rules." Allura's heart soared at his words, a flicker of hope igniting. "Are you sure? This could destroy everything we know." "Everything is already at stake. I'd rather fight for you than live in a world without you," he declared, his voice steady and unwavering. As they stood beneath the watchful gaze of the moon, Allura felt her soul intertwining with his, a connection deeper than blood, stronger than fate. "Then we'll gather those who support us," she vowed, determination surging through her veins. "We'll show the council that love can forge a new path." Kale nodded, his gaze fierce. "Together, we'll make them listen. No more hiding in the shadows." With that, Allura felt a surge of courage. The world ahead was uncertain, filled with trials and tribulations, but together, they would face whatever came their way. As the moon shone overhead, a promise whispered through the trees, a tale of love, defiance, and destiny was only just beginning to unfold. They would not only fight for their right to be together, but for a future that transcended the constraints of their world. And in that moment, the forest pulsed with the energy of ancient magic, as if acknowledging their commitment. The call of the pack echoed around them, a chorus of wolves ready to follow their lead into the unknown, where love and destiny awaited. Allura squeezed Kale's hand, a silent vow exchanged between them. "This is just the beginning." "And I wouldn't want it any other way," Kale replied, a firm resolve etched on his features. Together, they took their first step toward a new dawn, a journey through love's trials, where their bond would be tested, but always prevail. The night was alive with possibilities, a promise of hope glimmering in the darkness. The following days unfolded like a tapestry of tension and anticipation, each thread woven with the delicate strands of hope and fear. Allura and Kale, united in their defiance against tradition, began gathering allies within the pack, determined to challenge the council and their unjust rules. As the sun dipped below the horizon on the third night since their vow, Allura stood at the edge of the clearing, her heart racing. She glanced at Kale, who was pacing beneath the ancient oak. "We have to be ready for their response, Kale. The council won't take this lightly," she urged, her voice breaking slightly. Kale stopped, turning to face her. Firelight caught the determination in his molten gold eyes. I know, but we can let fear dictate our choices. Our love is worth fighting for, Allura. There was a fierce intensity in his gaze, a promise that filled her with warmth. We need to convince the others, she said, anxiety twisting in her stomach. What if they side with the council? Cale stepped closer, his presence solid as a mountain. They won't if we show them the strength of our bond. Love isn't just a feeling, it has a force that can reshape this pack, he replied, his voice steady and confident. Allura nodded, her heart swelling at his conviction. Together, then, she whispered, holding his gaze, feeling the gravity of their shared destiny. We all face whatever comes. As they prepared to gather their supporters, the tension in the air thickened, palpable and electric. Allura could sense the whispers swirling through the pack, a mix of fear, curiosity, and anticipation. Many had never seen an Omega challenge the traditions that band the Silverwood pack. Later that night, they stood before a small gathering of trusted allies near the lodge, the glow of lanterns casting flickering shadows. Ira stood beside Allura, her fierce loyalty a beacon of strength. We can change things, Ira proclaimed, her voice ringing clear. Allura and Cale's love is not just a dream, it is a revolution. Cale stepped forward, the weight of his title heavy on his shoulders. We are here for a purpose. The council has dictated our lives for too long. Allura is my mate, and together, we will assert our right to be with one another. Love should be our guiding force, not fear. Murmurs rippled through the crowd, uncertainty mingling with curiosity. Allura could feel their gazes, their doubt, their yearning for change. If we stand together, she said, her voice rising above the crowd, we can create a future where love is celebrated, not suppressed. A brave wolf from the back spoke up, eyes glistening with hope. But what if they retaliate? The council has power we can't ignore. Cale's expression hardened, resolve woven into every word. Then we meet that power with our own, strength in numbers, united by love, will always triumph over fear. Allura felt the fire ignite within her, a spark of courage. We were not just fighting for ourselves, we were fighting for every wolf who has ever felt trapped by tradition. As the night deepened, an unexpected voice cut through the air, a familiar figure emerging from the shadows. It was Lysander, the council's enforcer, known for his unwavering loyalty to the council's decrees. What is this, a rebellion brewing in the heart of Silverwood? He sneered, his tone dripping with disdain. Cale stepped forward, defiance in his stance. We were not rebelling, we were standing for what is right. Love should never be a crime. Lysander laughed, a sharp, mirthless sound. You think the council will allow this? They will see your actions as treason, Cale, and you, Allura, should know your place. Allura's heart raced, but she stood tall, determination flaring within her. I refuse to be bound by outdated traditions. This is my life, my choice, and I will fight for my love. Lysander's eyes narrowed, a flicker of anger crossing his features. You've no idea what you're inviting upon yourselves. The council's wrath is not something to be trifled with. Cale's voice rang out, steady and fierce. We all faced them head-on, together. With a dismissive wave, Lysander retreated into the shadows, leaving a chill in the air. Allura glanced at Cale, uncertainty flickering in her heart. What if yes, right? What if we can win? Cale reached for her hand, squeezing it gently. We have to believe in ourselves. Love is a force they can comprehend. Together, we all change their minds. As dawn broke over the horizon, Allura felt the weight of their resolve settle like armor over her heart. The time had come to confront the council. The council convened in the heart of Silverwood territory, a grand lodge built from ancient timber, its walls steeped in history and tradition. Allura's heart hammered in her chest as she entered with Cale and his supporters. The air crackled with tension as they approached the council, a group of formidable alphas and elders seated in a semicircle, their expressions steeled against the unexpected intrusion. Elder Rowan, the council leader, was the first to speak. You dare break the sanctity of our gathering. What is the meaning of this? Cale stepped forward, his voice unwavering. We were here to challenge the laws that bind us. Allura is my mate, and our love transcends rank and bloodline. Gasps filled the room, disbelief rippling through the council members. Allura stood beside Cale, her heart pounding, fueled by the strength of their bond. We deserve the freedom to love without fear of judgment. We were here to ask you to reconsider the laws that govern us. Elder Rowan's face darkened, the air heavy with his disdain. You speak of love, but love is not enough to lead a pack. It invites chaos, weakness. Then perhaps your definition of strength is flawed. Allura spoke, her voice shaking but resolute. Our love empowers us, that drives us to be better, to protect our pack. A murmur rippled through the council, and Cale's gaze remained locked with Rowan's. You cannot deny the bond between us. It is a force of nature, and to suppress it only weakens us all. Elder Rowan's scowl deepened. You would defy the traditions that have kept us strong for generations. You would risk everything for an obsession. It is not an obsession, Allura replied, her voice rising with emotion. It is love, and love is what will unite us, not divide us. Suddenly, a voice emerged from the shadows, breaking the tension. What if they rewrite? It was Eric, stepping forward, his loyalty unwavering. What if our strength lies in our ability to embrace love in all its forms? The council members exchanged glances, surprise mixing with irritation. Rowan's voice cut through the air, as sharp as a blade. You would betray your alpha. You would challenge the very fabric of this pack. Eric's stance remained firm. I am challenging the old ways. We must adapt to thrive, not remain shackled to fear. Love is our future. Allura felt the tide shifting, the murmurs of support echoing among the gathered wolves. They were beginning to see the truth of her words, the power of unity and love. Gil took a step forward, his voice ringing with conviction. Together, we can forge a new path, a path that embraces love, that strengthens our pack, but we cannot do this alone. We need your support. Elder Rowan's expression softened ever so slightly, uncertainty flickering in his eyes. And if we allow this, what is to stop chaos from consuming us? Only our love, our commitment to each other, Kale replied, his voice steady. Together, we can build a better future, one where love and loyalty are the foundation. Allura felt the weight of their courage swell around her. If we fail, it will not be for lack of trying, but if we succeed, it will be a new dawn for all of us. The council chamber was silent, the air thick with the weight of their decision. Allura held her breath, her heart pounding fiercely in her chest. Finally, Rowan leaned back, his gaze piercing as he assessed the room. We will take this matter into consideration, but know this, the council does not tolerate disobedience lightly. With those words, the air shifted, a fragile hope blossoming amidst the uncertainty. Allura and Kale exchanged a glance, hearts intertwined in the uncertainty of their future. As they stepped outside, the world felt different, charged with the energy of possibility. They had taken the first step toward change, and no matter what lay ahead, they would face it together. Whatever happens next, I am with you, Kale promised, his voice steady as they walked side by side beneath the watchful gaze of the moon. Allura smiled, feeling a sense of clarity for the first time. I know with you, we will fight for our love, no matter the odds. As they disappeared into the depths of the forest, destiny awaited in the shadows, a journey etched in love, trust. The following days unfolded like a tense symphony, each note heavy with anticipation and uncertainty. Allura and Kale were swept up in the momentum of their quest for acceptance, gathering allies throughout the Silverwood pack. Every conversation felt like a delicate negotiation, a dance between hope and fear. One afternoon, as they moved deeper into the woods, Kale turned to Allura, his expression a mix of determination and worry. We've gathered a decent number of supporters, but it won't be enough if the council remains resolute, he said, his voice steady yet tinged with urgency. Allura met his gaze, her heart racing. What if they don't see our love as a strength but as a threat? What if we're heading toward a confrontation we can win? The vulnerability in her voice made the air thick with tension. Kale stepped closer, the warmth of his presence enveloping her. Then we fight for it, together. We're stronger than they think, Allura. Our love is a force of nature. But what if the cost is too high? She whispered, fear creeping into her heart. What if we lose everything? Kale's eyes held hers, fierce and unwavering. I'd rather stand with you and face whatever comes than live a life without you. Her heart swelled at his words, yet the spectre of doubt loomed large. And if they succeed in tearing us apart? A shadow crossed Kale's face, an emotion she couldn't decipher. Then we will create our own path, even if it means leaving this pack behind. Love is worth the risk. His conviction ignited a fire within her. You were right. I won't let fear dictate our lives any longer. That very night, as the stars twinkled above, Allura lay awake, thoughts swirling like autumn leaves in the wind. She felt the pull of destiny weaving through her, an invisible thread connecting her to Kale, an unbreakable bond. But fate, as it often does, had more trials in store for them. The following day, as they prepared to confront the council again, a chilling wind swept through the trees, carrying whispers of discontent. Allura could sense it, the tension in the air thickening with each passing moment. As they gathered their supporters near the lodge, Allura noticed a familiar figure lurking in the shadows Lysander. His presence sent a shiver down her spine, and she exchanged worried glances with Kale. What is he doing here? Allura hissed, her heart racing. Kale's expression hardened. He is always watching. We have to be careful. Lysander stepped forward, a predatory glint in his eye. You think you can challenge the council and walk away unscathed? You were naive to believe your love can change anything. Cale clenched his fists at his sides, a low growl rumbling in his throat. You don't understand the power of love, Lysander. It can unite us, not divide us. Beloved? Lysander scoffed, his voice laced with mockery. It is a weakness, and you, Cale, are compromising the strength of our pact by pursuing this folly. Alara's heart raced, seeing the tension spiraling. This isn't a folly, we are fighting for our right to love. Lysander's gaze flickered with cold amusement. You think the council will allow you to make such demands? You'll be labeled a traitor. Alara felt the weight of his words, a creeping dread curling in her stomach. We want to back down, she declared, her voice rising in defiance. We will show them that love is powerful. Lysander stepped closer, his eyes narrowing. Then prepare for the consequences, you replaying a dangerous game. As he retreated into the shadows, doubt seeped into Alara's resolve. What if yes right, Cale? What if we can win? Cale turned to her, his expression softening. We can think that way. We have to believe in our love, Alara. It is what makes us strong. But the uncertainty lingered, gnawing at her thoughts as they prepared for the council meeting. When the day finally arrived, the atmosphere in the Grand Lodge was heavy with tension. Alara stood beside Cale, their supporters forming a protective circle around them. The council members, seated with expressions of disdain, looked down upon the couple. Elder Rowan's voice boomed through the chamber. You dare return, defying our authority. What is it that you truly seek? Cale stepped forward, determination etched into his features. We seek acknowledgement of our bond. Alara is my mate, and our love deserves a place within this pack. Gasps echoed through the chamber, disbelief mingling with murmurs of support. Alara's heart raced as she felt the weight of the gazes upon her. Elder Rowan's face twisted in anger. This is an abomination. You would risk the stability of our pack for fleeting emotion. It is not fleeting, Alara interjected, her voice steady. Our love is real and powerful. It transcends rank and bloodline. The council members exchanged glances, uncertainty flickering among them. Cale's voice rang out, filled with conviction. Love unites us, strengthens us. If we cannot embrace it, we will only weaken ourselves. But Elder Rowan's expression remained resolute. You are playing with fire. The council will not take kindly to this rebellion. You risk everything. Then let us face that risk together, Cale replied, his gaze unwavering. Isn't that what being a pack means? Loyalty, love, and strength. Alara felt the air shift, a flicker of hope igniting among the gathered wolves. We are not just fighting for ourselves, we are fighting for every wolf who has ever felt trapped by tradition. Suddenly, a voice emerged from the back. Eric stepped forward, his loyalty shining through. I stand with Cale and Alara. We are stronger when we embrace love, not fear. A ripple of surprise swept through the council. Alara's heart soared at the sight of their allies stepping into the light, yet she could feel the council's tension crackling like the storm brewing outside. Elder Rowan's expression darkened. You would challenge the very foundation of our pack for mere sentiment. Eric's voice rang clear, unwavering. It is more than sentiment. Love is our strength. We can thrive shackled by outdated traditions. The council exchanged heated glances, the weight of their decision pressing heavily upon them. Alara felt the anticipation mounting, hearts racing in unison. Elder Rowan took a deep breath, the silence stretching. And what do you propose instead? A pact divided by love, free of rules, that will only lead to chaos. Cale stepped forward, his voice steady. Chaos comes from fear, not love. Together, we can forge a new path, one that strengthens us all. Alara felt the energy shift, the murmurs growing louder among their supporters. If we fail, it won't be for lack of trying, but if we succeed, it will be a new dawn for all of us. The council chamber held its breath as Elder Rowan's expression softened, just a fraction. You have made a compelling case, but change does not come easily. We will take your words into consideration. With those words, the tension broke, a fragile hope blossoming amidst the uncertainty. As they stepped outside, the air felt different, charged with the energy of possibility. What now? Alara asked, glancing at Cale, her heart racing with excitement and fear. Cale took her hand, squeezing it gently. Now we wait. We replanted the seeds of change. It is up to the council to decide whether to nurture them. But as the sun began to set, casting a fiery glow over the horizon, Alara sensed the shadows deepening. The lurking threat of Lysander and the council's wrath loomed, a spectre she couldn't shake. Cale, what if they decide against us? She asked, her voice laced with vulnerability. Then we were ready to fight, he replied, determination in his gaze. We'll do whatever it takes to protect our love. Days stretched into weeks as they waited for the council's final decision. Allura felt the uncertainty gnawing at her, each moment heavy with fear and anticipation. One evening, while sitting by the moonlit stream, Ira joined her. "You be quiet. What is on your mind?" Allura sighed, the weight of her thoughts pressing down on her. "I am terrified, Ira. What if we can't change anything? What if our love isn't enough?" Ira placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "Your love is more powerful than you realize. You and Kayla are meant to be. Trust in that." Allura smiled faintly, feeling the flicker of hope reignite. "You really believe that?" "I do, and I'll stand by you no matter what," Ira vowed, her loyalty unwavering. Suddenly, a howl echoed through the night, sending a shiver down Allura's spine. "What was that?" she asked, her heart racing. "Ira,